Ace Man, I almost died laughing when you said engine foot after Motorhead. I don't know if a lot of people got it, but it was fucking classic.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, somebody said what was Lemmy's first band before Motorhead, and I said Engine Foot. And, may have been appreciated via the eyebrow movement here in the clubhouse, but not a lot of applauding went on. But that's all right.
Nod.
It's all right.
Nod.
Eyebrow.
Well, I think I picked another word for motor, which was engine, and then I went from the head down to the foot. All right. I didn't write it down or anything, but I appreciate people are listening.
You didn't do that in Bend Over the Weekend?
Special.
That wasn't a joke you led with?
Can we institute something? Because I like lessons and laws and like societal norms. Can we institute something? There were 2 pizza boxes back there. I just happened to go check out one, and it's empty. Would you guys all be for, and I don't know
A vote of the office?
who the individual was who took the last piece of pizza,
Probably the new guy.
but can we make a nationwide law that you start training your kids on this? Like you don't get out of the 6th grade, which is, if you take the last piece of fucking pizza, throw away the fucking box. Don't shut the lid and walk away, because then I think there's a piece of pizza in there, and then I open it up and it's empty because you had the last piece, but you never threw away the box. But the rule is you must chuck the box. Hold on. Addendum. When you take the last piece of pizza, you either chuck the box or you leave the lid open. If you don't have a place to do it.
Okay.
But you don't shut the lid and walk away. And by the way, I'll say the same thing for mayonnaise and Tabasco and everything else. When the fucking thing is empty, don't put it away.
Oh my God,
Throw
that's
it
my
out.
biggest pet peeve.
Throw it away.
My kids will sneak a bag of chips and then leave it with a clip on it and everything. And I'm like, who did this?
What's wrong with the clip?
Well, because they finished the bag and it's just crumbs at the bottom. So I go in thinking there's a bag of chips,
okay,
and they've
it's gone.
tried to hide it. I mean, maybe it's clever. What are your thoughts though on, so say you have 1 cheese pizza and 1 pepperoni pizza and all of the cheese pizza is gone. Home Alone storyline starting right here. But there's like a couple pieces of cheese, and then somebody just, to condense space, puts some of the cheese in the pepperoni box. Does that annoy you? Or
No, I don't mind consolidation.
Okay.
I don't mind consolidation.
Even if it's consolidation of 2 different kinds?
Because
I had a girlfriend that got annoyed at that one time.
Look, here let me explain. I like where your head's at because there's effort.
Yes.
Walking away from the empty pizza box just makes you a piece of shit. See what I did there?
But
Motorhead. No, I just mean that means you don't care about anyone. You're lazy. You got your piece of pizza.
Yep.
You're done.
I think I'm fine.
The consolidation thing is a calorie burner. I like it.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
And I don't think it's confusing. You open it up and you go, okay, we have 3 cheese and 3 pepperoni left. I
we're
can
fine.
figure. I'll do the math here. Now, but we do need a ratio consideration, which is to say, we do, and I've been yelling about this my whole life, we do way too much. And anyone that's been on a set, a movie set or a TV set, when they send the PA out to the lunch run, they'll go, because they'll do it when you're filming. Someone's going on a lunch run, and they'll go, all right, we're going to Jersey Mike's. And then somebody will inevitably tell this person, they'll go, get 10 beef, get 10 roast beef, 10 turkey, and 10 veggies. And the person will start leaving, and I'll go, no one's here who's a vegetarian. Or there is, it's one, and she packed her own lunch. Or no one's, and then...
Don't order 10 veggies.
Right, but they do that. And then at the end, there's 9 veggies sitting there, and then what people do with veggie sandwiches, they'll pick through the corpse of it, like they'll start pulling cheese off and stuff like that. But, okay, don't do it. Get your numbers right. Like, I go, look... Don't get 10 veggie if there's no vegetarians on this set. Go ask who's a vegetarian. Don't just go. That's one less
gluten-free is the thing now.
Sandwich we're gonna have. I was at on the road, as I'd explain, and I was in Oregon, and I was at the Ramada Inn, or I don't know, whatever the hotel. They have the continental breakfast, from 6 a.m. to 10. And I went down there just to check it out, get some coffee. And I went down there, and they had the chafing dish that had the pre-made. I'm calling them omelets, but sort of miniature little egg and cheese or whatever. Nothing
like a frittata kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a small. Looked like they're the size of a Jack in the Box taco on its side, right? And it just had two things. One said veggie and egg white, and the other just said cheddar cheese.
Yep.
And regular egg. And I go, all right, well that sounds good. And I lifted it up, and the cheddar cheese was gone. And there were 11 veggie egg white ones because nobody wants the veggie egg white one. But what I'm saying is it takes just as much effort to make a veggie egg white one as it does to make the cheddar cheese one. So why don't we just have a very few? It's like, and then you go in the room and they have coffees, and there's 2 regular and 2 decaf. We're not 50-50. I've been to Starbucks 1,000 times. I've never heard anyone order a decaf.
Half of the places ordering decaf.
It doesn't. That's not the ratio. It's not half the guys at the Bend Ramada Inn want the veggie one. No, it's less than 10%. And it's the same as it is with the coffee. It's less than 10%. Don't make your ratio. Fix your ratio.
But this is the problem, though. It's the loudest voices get the most attention. It's like Shake Shack used to have the tastiest peanut butter milkshake. And then they announced a few years ago, I think when I was pregnant with baby number 3 and craving that sucker. Oh, no, we're not going to do this anymore because out of respect for people that come into our stores with a peanut allergy. And I was 3rd trimester raging. And I told the manager, I'm like, oh, you mean the less than 2% of the country that has a peanut allergy?
Well, that really has a peanut allergy.
Really has a peanut allergy?
Well,
EpiPen needed peanut allergy?
Right, 46% claim to have one. All right.
But it's the same thing.
I agree.
To do it so then that one vegetarian that goes there can't be like, oh my God, the Ramada Inn in Bend was out of my vegetarian omelet and they're anti-vegetarian.
Well, the only thing that was good about Southwest was the peanuts, and those are all gone. All right, let's do some news.
Let's do some news. I don't know if there's any good news coming out of Minnesota these days.
No.
It's kind of crazy. We have video of Don Lemon, a former CNN host. He's been put, quote unquote, on notice by the Justice Department after he joined a group of anti-ICE agitators who stormed a church in Minneapolis during a service over the last couple of days. It was this Sunday. Lemon has been posting independent journalism that he's super duper proud of since being fired by CNN, and he's been documenting the Minnesota chaos following the fatal ICE shooting of Renee Nicole Good. He entered the church along with anti-ICE agitators and began filming and told that the viewers there at the church and during his live stream that this was the freedom to protest and what the First Amendment was all about. Let's watch what he thinks the First Amendment is all about because we can break that down later.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful.
This is the pastor
It's shameful
of the church.
to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus. That's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless you're here to
chronicle what
worship.
happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship.
I suck a little cock.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. A couple things.
The hand.
Every single one of these former CNN or anybody news journalists who go off on their own always surprise, hard leftists.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole time,
shock and awe.
The whole time they're employed by CNN, they're doing this. You don't know what my politics are. You don't know how I vote. You're all just crazy leftist lunatics who pretended to be middle-of-the-road journalists working for
really
CNN.
Did a shitty job of pretending to be.
Well, you acted like we didn't know who you were.
We were the judgmental ones. So he talked there, by the way, the whole, get your hands off me. It's such like a girly move.
I know.
But the pastor, Don Lemon put his hand on the pastor. The pastor reciprocated. I didn't see a push.
No,
where's the push, man?
He was trying to keep little reins.
So, Carmi, Harmeet Dillon, who's awesome, she wrote over on X. She's the Justice Department's Assistant Attorney General specifically for the Civil Rights Division. She said a house of worship is not a public forum for your protest. It's a space protected from exactly such acts by federal criminal and civil laws. Nor does the First Amendment protect your pseudo-journalism of disrupting a prayer service. So this is where, as a super duper pro-life person that's been kind of against the FACE Act, I'm going to point and laugh at my leftist friends, because the FACE Act prevents pro-lifers from praying or protesting within a certain space of a reproductive facility.
Yeah.
And Planned Parenthood and leftists use this all the time to stop old ladies from praying outside of Planned Parenthoods.
Yeah.
But this also, the same act protects this church and
Right.
any religious disruptions, specifically on private property, which
Right.
is what these people were doing.
Yeah. By the way, Harmeet's going to come out to D.C. at the Kennedy Center and come say hi.
Oh, that's
when I'm
awesome.
out there on January 31st. So we sort of text back and forth a little bit.
That's awesome. So Don Lemon, to double down on you being right about him being a radical leftist, he did a podcast interview after this incident, and he called the people at the church white supremacists.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man.
If you remember that, it'll solve every problem.
I think the guys have a picture of one of the white supremacists that he was talking about there. It's a scared Asian dad huddling his son and with his Asian wife sitting in the pew looking shocked. Even when he was harassing the pastor there and the pastor was graciously giving him time and answering him, did you see the white mom and the black mom walking past, like trying to get their kids out of the church?
Yeah, look, first off, they're all narcissists. And really what they cannot reconcile is nobody gives a shit about them. Mm-hmm. So the worst thing you can say to a narcissist is who are you? Nobody cares. I mean, not even in a bad way. Just, I don't know who you are.
Yep. White supremacists right there.
Right. So in the world, so it's like when you're on a schoolyard and you have a crush on somebody, you hope that person has a crush on you and you can go steady. But in lieu of that, it's better almost when they come and pull on your pigtails or kick you in the shin or something. But the worst you can have is nothing. Mm-hmm. I don't know who that person is, and I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the worst. So we don't know who these people are, and we're not interested. And at a certain point, they get bored with their obscurity, and then they have to come to us and cause. All of these things are self-inflicted. Mm-hmm. Every single thing they do is they get out, they get in front, they push, they shove, and then they become victims. Then what Don Lemon does is he goes into a church, which is in the middle of a service, and goes, as a gay man, as a black man, I know I'm not well. Then you don't have to come in here. Uh-huh. So it's all self-inflicted, everything they do.
The best part was the end of that clip, if we can pull it back up, where he talks about, Don Lemon's like, oh, don't these people have a First Amendment right? Like, don't you want to talk to them? And the pastor's like, none of these people want to talk to us.
Right.
Like, and I think that, so here's the other thing. Now we know news reports. That pastor right there has the same last name as an ICE officer that works at like a Minneapolis facility. So these anti-ICE protesters went to this poor dude's church who might be completely unaffiliated with the ICE officer that they were trying to dox and target.
Right.
And they want us to think that they're the good guys?
Well, let me just give you the kind of I will give you the long and the short of all of this. Most people work this way. The people who think like I think and Alicia thinks and the normal people. You just go All right, let's see. The Rams are playing Seattle. Good for the championship, whatever. I'm a Rams fan, and I would be happy just to take my son and go to a Rams bar and watch the Rams game amongst Rams fans. Now, here's the problem with the super angry Seattle fans and all the crazy bitches. They're not happy to go to the Seattle bar and enjoy the Seattle game. They would do that for the first quarter. But at a certain point, instead of just sitting with like-minded Seattle people and cheering your team on, that's not enough for you. Then you have to get up and you have to go to the Rams bar. And then you walk in and you go, I have every right to be here. And the Rams guys go, fine, have a beer, sit down. And you go, okay. And then you realize you're not getting enough attention just sitting and having a beer. So then you get up and you go, you know what? I want to change the channel. I want to watch women's basketball. And then we go, hold on, dude. No, we're watching the Rams game.
Yep.
And matter of fact, why don't you go back to the Seattle bar and pitch that at the Seattle bar? Or better yet, just go to the Seattle bar and shut the fuck up and watch it. Now, I'm not doing it. Then at a certain point, you stand up on the bar and you start reaching for the TV remote and you start changing the channels, and a Rams fan grabs you and pulls you back down, and then you start screaming, I'm under attack.
Yes.
That's exactly
Why are
what
you
all
hitting
you
me?
assholes are doing.
Yeah.
Go to the Seattle bar, watch your fucking team, and shut the fuck up. That's all we're trying to do here. But you have to do this, and then at some point you become a victim because you've come into our bar and you want to change that. And by the way, if you just wanted to come into our bar wearing your Seattle jersey and sit down and have a Michelob Ultra, you would have been left alone. Now, if I put my Rams jersey on and went to your bar, I wouldn't have been left
They
alone.
probably would have been left alone had they gone into the church, sat through the service, then asked to talk to the pastor after.
But you can't do that.
Even if they had protested on the street, but they went into private property.
That's right, because you need to be a victim. Because you have to be a victim.
As a church-going mama, it really pissed me off seeing those poor kids because they have no idea what's going on.
No, I know.
And now they're terrorized and afraid to go to church and asking mommy what happened and why those people were yelling at them.
Yes, just go to your Seattle bar, get a beer, and shut the fuck up. That's all. Easy way to go. And then while you're on the Rams bar trying to change the TV set and people are yelling at you, you're yelling, I didn't ask for any of this. I don't want any of this.
Why are you hitting me, bro?
I know. That's what you're doing. So just fucking stay in your bar. But you don't want that. That's not what you can't just sit there and enjoy what you enjoy.
You know, because
Cannot
of
be
you,
done.
I say bro more now.
Thank you, bro.
Bro.
Bruh.
My 12-year-old says bruh.
Bruh.
That's like a kid thing now. You know, they say like bruh.
I didn't know that, but I do know if you say American, that's fine. But if you say American, you just start with an M, that means you're a super patriot. American.
It depends on what crowds.
American.
Not in Minneapolis
No.
right now.
No.
All right, so Matthew McConaughey was recently on the On Purpose with Jay Shetty podcast, and he spoke about his dislike for participation medals and how chasing perfection is really what drives him.
Yeah. Well, but I'm also, as you know from the book, I'm not into extra credit. I don't like 4.2 GPAs. That tells me, like, well, what happened? Then we're not given the right test. If 4 was the pinnacle, you know, that means not many people should be getting it, if anybody.
Yeah.
So now we're getting 4 2s, 4 4s. That tells me we've over leveraged the original task, or we've added amnesty or too many places to not do have the real competence and merit at the task that you're supposed to give. Because, especially I think in the West, because we want everyone to feel really great. Participation trophies, 4.2 GPA. Well, I feel better.
He goes on to say, but like
Shanty seemed bored or didn't know what he was talking about. Or, I've won. Okay, first off, 1,000%.
Yep.
There's no such thing as giving 110%. We'll just do 100%. That'll be that. And 4.0, that's the max. You can get it or not, but we don't have to keep going above what we had. And we need a better term for participation trophy, because participation trophies have always existed and they're a good thing.
do you think they are?
Yes.
Because you're a part of the team and everybody's working together kind of situation? Or?
Well, you know, it's a weird thing, and maybe it's just because I played way too much football and Pop Warner football.
Yeah.
A participation trophy is just that. It's a participation trophy.
Yeah, everybody knows you're not the first place person.
Everybody who shows up to this 10K is going to get a little button that said, I ran this 10K. Somebody's going to win this 10K and they'll get a trophy. And there'll be a best offensive player, best defensive player, most valuable player. Sometimes they'll break it down like best lineman, best defensive back and stuff like that. The most improved, blah, blah, blah. But everybody gets a participation trophy because everyone who came here went to all the practices, went to all the games, and basically made it through a participation.
And also helped the team. Like if you're talking about a team sport.
Yeah. I mean,
not everybody's the quarterback, but it does take a team effort to win a game.
Yeah, but you could have just been riding the pine the whole time, as we would say, but you still scrimmaged and practiced and played the defense on the scrimmage and stuff like that. Listen, a participation trophy saying, and I know what he means, but we need a better term because it's like saying we shouldn't be handing out these high school diplomas. It's like, no, if you went to high school and you completed high school, then you get a diploma. You don't get valedictorian and you don't get a free ride to Harvard and you don't get class clown or best looking. You just get a piece of paper that says you went here and you completed this. Now, it's worth as much as a participation trophy is, which is not anything, but you should still have it. Yeah. So it's called something. They're sort of saying, stop giving everyone the most valuable trophy. But here's really what they did. They reverse engineered it. They went, everyone gets a participation trophy, and we're not going to give out most valuable trophy because that'll make people feel ashamed. So then the participation
trophy became a bad thing because you weren't giving out the best thing.
Right. And the participation trophy, and like I said, especially you play football, you go to all the practices and sweat it out and run all the wind sprints and do all the push-ups and stuff. Good. Here's a fucking trophy. You should get a trophy for that. Just like you should get you should get a piece of paper that says you graduated North Hollywood High. It doesn't mean you're top of the class. It doesn't mean anything.
Or whatever my homeschool school was
right.
called.
You just won. The Pots and Pans International. You were there.
Yeah.
And
I learned some things.
Yeah.
Learned how to read.
Yeah. I
was the valedictorian of my class, though.
Really? You beat out your kid brother? Sweet.
That's the joke.
It's got to be.
There's some really good homeschool jokes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thank you.
What are the good homeschool jokes?
The good homeschool jokes. Oh gosh, the other one is like I was always a teacher's pet.
I'll tell you the only reason why. Sorry, I don't want to be a nitpick, but I keep saying now with homeschooling, they get a collective together.
They do.
Right?
That's cheating.
Is that cheating?
Well, when they go to like a co-op isn't always cheating. Like I have a girlfriend down the South Bay that runs an awesome co-op, and that's like once or twice a week the kids get together and hang out and play. But they're literally kind of like charter schools essentially, where you bring your kid for a half day and somebody is teaching your kid. That's like a type of private school to me. That's not like homeschooling.
But there is such a homeschooling where it's like 3 families come together or something.
Those were pods, and those kind of started during COVID, but they're still paying a teacher, so that ain't homeschooling either.
No, but I mean, is there a thing where you go, this mother's going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then that mother's going to do like... I
have heard of that. I've never experienced that when I was homeschooled or when I homeschooled my girls. I didn't do that. It was me and them.
I think my mom probably would have made the worst homeschool teacher.
I felt like I did. Probably. It's so hard, man. I'm not smart enough to do it past 6th grade. History, Bible, literature is my jam. Math, nope. This is why my husband makes the money, and I just spend it.
Good for you.
Speaking of money, billionaire developer, friend of the program, Rick Caruso, won't be running for California governor or LA mayor. This bomb dropped on us on Friday, and I went to dinner with some friends that night that were pissed off at him. I'm curious about your take about this. But Rick Caruso spent a lot of last year publicly muling this run for California governor or Los Angeles mayor, and his ultimate decision in his Instagram post that he posted on Friday evening was neither. He said that he will not run for either office this year, putting an end to the projected all the speculation indication that he would launch some sort of political bid in 2026. He said, quote, "After much reflection and many heartfelt conversations with my family, I've decided not to pursue elected office at this time. It was a difficult decision, and I am deeply disappointed to step back from an election that is so critical to California's future." He encouraged people that he wants to keep working on fire recovery through his nonprofit Steadfast LA and help people rebuild their homes, etc. So a lot of people on the right, and I'm sure you saw this, were like, shame on you. You kind of held up potentially good candidates. You held up these candidates from getting money, and you like kissed the ring and the booty of Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom. I mean, I like Rick. I don't agree with him on everything. And I think that people who have said that he is like Trump light are totally off base. But I don't know that I go to the, oh, shame on you. You held up everything for everybody. What's your stance?
I like him. I know him personally. He's a good guy. I sit around and I just sort of think about LA and what we've done in the last few years, and to think that we could have had Rick Caruso, and instead, it's kind of one thing where you go, we could have had Rick Caruso, but instead we got this guy who's something like Rick Caruso. We got Karen Bass. Mm-hmm. So basically,
the antithesis of Rick Caruso.
If LA was a franchise, we'd be like, look, it's between Tom Brady and Ryan Leaf. Who's going to be the franchise quarterback for LA? And we went, we're taking Ryan Leaf. And then we watched Tom Brady's career while Ryan flamed out. And it's like, we could have had this, but we chose that. And that we chose was the antithesis of this and the worst thing that could happen. And again, just another dingbat who has no interests or thoughts, or maybe he's just a communist. I don't know if Karen. I mean, she's been to Cuba enough. I don't know what her. I don't know if it's incompetence.
She's a little Bernie Sanders light, I think.
Oh yeah, she's real. Like when you look into Karen Bass, you can kind of go, oh come on, give me a break. But I'm sorry, if you've been to Cuba 17 times, maybe there is some connection there. I've not been to Cuba ever because it's not my thing, but you've been there 17 times. How many times has Karen Bass been to Cuba?
Almost as many as Bernie, maybe. Didn't he honeymoon there?
He honeymooned.
15 trips?
He honeymooned in the Soviet Union. She visited Cuba 15 times, reportedly taking, 15 trips, young community activist. All right, I'm just saying.
Wait, so she has been 18 times. So she went on 15 trips in the 70s and then several more, like between the 70s and 2020.
18 times.
18 times.
Well, maybe she has some allegiance or some thoughts about their way of governing, and perhaps she took some of that back here.
I don't know if I've been back to Oklahoma to visit my mom 18 times since I left at 18.
Well, that's kind of my thing. Like if you
have an affinity for a place.
If I had been to, the Netherlands 20 times and then I was running for mayor, you could think that some of my thought process might think about, well, how would they do it over there? Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we could add Rick Caruso. We got a dunce instead who may not even just be incompetent. She may just be sort of secretly, quietly doing what we just think of her as dumb. Or like incompetent.
Incompetent. I would say incompetent.
Right, but it might go deeper than that. Like I don't
know if you can be dumb having been able to win and keep office in politics.
I shouldn't say dumb.
Yeah,
I shouldn't
that's
say
why
dumb.
I think incompetence or wrong.
I think wrong. Yeah.
Especially like based on our belief systems.
She blames the homelessness on, income inequality. Mm-hmm. So
which is stupid.
Right. So here's the point. Maybe she's not dumb, but she has super dumb thoughts all the time. Which I would argue makes you de facto dumb.
That's true. I see it now.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that correlation. It is interesting though that he talks about like, I'm sorry to sit this out. I don't know. It kind of read to me as like maybe more of a personal decision than like a strategic, political, or business one.
Rick's got a pretty good life going for himself.
Well, at that event that you guys did together at the Americana, he talked about like the importance of public service, and public service isn't just serving in politics, which I would completely agree with. And I think that that's a good thing for the average citizen to understand. Like in order to sacrifice and serve your neighborhood, your family, your country, you don't have to run for mayor, right? But sometimes we need guys like a Rick that are capable of like putting their reputation, their money on the line and doing it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm now voting for Spencer Pratt.
I'm fine with him. She was in a group called Veceremos Brigade, which is basically Castro Youth Brigade.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's good.
Just a stone's throw away from Hitler Youth.
Why shouldn't she run
Castro Youth?
California, or at least Los Angeles?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All right. I'm going to be in New York at Rodney's doing a live podcast there with Scaramucci, and then I'm doing a stand-up show, and then I'm off with Megyn Kelly to Chester, New York. That show will probably sell out. But then you can go to check out DC. I'm going to be there as well. Alicia Krause, weekly op-ed for the Washington Examiner, everybody. And good job. Until next time, Sam Crow for Alicia Krause saying mahalo.
Ace Man, Brandon in St. Louis. Going to see where this puts me on the sandwich ranking here. Mom would get all the good stuff, the roast beef, the hoagie rolls, the pepper jack cheese, the good mayo, everything that makes a great sandwich, and then tell me to make it myself. Just wondering where that ranks on your scale. Is that a 2 or a 12? Peace out, brother.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
That's a 7.5. I mean, she got all the good fixins for a sandwich. There's a certain part of the sandwich making that is personal. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's mayo, but there's how much mayo. There's mustard, but there's how much mustard. There's pickles, but how many pickles. Like,
Is there a dollop or a sprinkle of love?
That's right. And so one has to decide that. And also, it's a practical skill for a young male to learn his sandwich.
Well, you're looking at a sandwich artist right here, Subway, class of 98.
You worked there.
Was a sandwich artist. I knew how to cut the U-gouge. I knew how to, communicate.
U-gouge,
Yeah. There's the old style.
But there's also there's a foreplay to it that people really cannot. Listen, you sit on the sofa and you're like, Mom, where's the sandwich? But you've eliminated the foreplay. When I used to live in La Crescenta, there was an Armenian market up on Foothill, just a little Armenian place. And I would go there and I'd buy beefsteak, tomato, and I'd go to like the deli part and I'd get the provolone and I'd get the smoked turkey, and it was all like foreplay.
Yeah.
Get the rolls, I'd go home, I'd cut a big wheel of like the beefsteak tomato and start soaking it in olive oil and vinegar, pepper and salt while I was making the sandwich. And it was like by the time I bit into that sandwich,
the ritual is complete.
It was orgasm time. Yeah, there's an element of that. But all right, if your mom went and got all the good stuff,
top quality,
you're at least a 7.5. My dad would get the deviled meat spread, Armin, whatever it was called, Armor meat spread. It was like, God knows. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it was below Spam and below bologna.
It's made out of real armadillos, though.
Yeah, like weird mystery meat, potted meat, they called it.
We were poor, and my mom would never have that in the house. Never.
Okay.
Yo, I got hit with the Spam on the regular.
I want to say
we do
this.
Spam all the time.
Oh, okay,
I had Spam 2 days ago.
So I want to say, but here's what I want to say, because now it's timely with all the SNAP stuff and all that kind of stuff. This thing where it's like, these people are poor. First off, they're fat. So I don't know where the nutrition or malnutrition or whatever. The average person on SNAP is giving away 50 pounds to the average person. It's not. But also, just because you're poor doesn't mean you need to eat like shit. I was always poor, but always when I was out on my own. I was poor, but I was like, I'm still going to the Armenian market. I'm still going to get the shit that's good. I'm still going to get the shit that's nutritious. And you know what? I'm going to make 9 sandwiches out of this. It's not going to cost that much. You don't have to eat like you're poor just because you're poor. You can be creative and be
Well,
and
it's not like LA County school system led you to believe that certain foods are more nutritious than the other. So I count that as a win for Newsom.
They serve square pizza at my school. It wasn't even the right shape.
Oh, but on everybody's school. Yeah. It's square. It's made of some type of plastic and has red on it.
Like the hot dogs are like gray.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the hot hamburgers were gray. Like I was like, yuck.
They shipped them in from the East Coast just for you.
All right, what stories you got?
We got the news. Forget about Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. There's a new rivalry brewing.
Who won that fight? I didn't even find out.
No one.
No one?
No.
You watched it?
No contest. A poke in the eye. Sorry to report.
Round one?
Round one, just getting going. Cyril Gane looked like he was coming alive. Looked like he had corrected his tendency to burn out real quick. And Tom Aspinall never got a takedown, never got going, got poked in the eye about a minute shy of the first stanza ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look, Riley Gaines is responding to AOC's personal attacks and calls out virtue signaling. There was like a little tweet battle going on with the two. You'll see this. Riley Gaines tweeting that we're being destroyed from within.
It's a picture of Ndami and AOC and Bernie Sanders up on stage drinking in the adoring crowd from the rally a couple days back, right? So Riley Gaines says we're being destroyed from within, and then AOC says maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in fifth, which kind of shows her stupidity. There's a new world order, which is women more than men, but men as well. Jasmine Crockett's this way, AOC's this way. They put their fucking stupidity on display on a daily basis and have no problems with how fucking dumb they sound on a daily basis. So first off, I don't know. I feel like you could channel your anger into the UFC, perhaps, maybe the ring, maybe the football field, maybe hockey, but anger and swimming is probably not going to help you, probably hurt your form a little. And then secondly, she's just basically saying our country's coming undone. I don't know how angry it is, but Riley Gaines, it's always we support women's rights until it's women who want the right to compete and undress free from less than mediocre men. So I don't know what AOC's thing is. First off, the angle. Okay, there's an angle. The angle of you were beat and you should have tried harder, or what kind of champion are you? If you're swimming against dudes who have a huge advantage on you, then no, that is not your fault. It's not possible. But any more than you were talking about Cyril Gane or Gane?
Cyril Gane.
Okay, Cyril Gane. I don't know what woman could walk in there and take that guy down. Do they exist? I don't
Gabby
know.
Garcia could give him a run for his money, but doubtful beyond that.
Right. So it's not going to happen. So there's an advantage. So she was taken advantage of and cheated out of something that she'd been working at since she was 5 or 6. So she has a problem with it.
But it's trolling. This is a new strategy.
I get it, but AOC's point the real one was, what's her name, who's running for California governor, was arguing with Piers Morgan the other day. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Betty Yee.
Men have a distinct physical advantage. You guys can talk, or Whoopi Goldberg. You guys can talk in retarded circles for as long as you want. Now, men have a clear advantage. So if you are going to let biological men compete with women, we're going to have to address it. That's all. And it's not something anyone ever wanted, including Riley Gaines. She had this foisted upon her at a later stage of her career, and she got gypped out of a medal. So what would you like her to do, lady who likes ladies, who like fierce, tough women? We have Riley talking to Fox News. And I know they hate Riley Gaines because of her politics. It's not really about this. It's more about the politics. But we'll hear what she has to say, I guess, about AOC.
Here's what I will say. I want to honestly challenge AOC to a debate. She can defend socialism. I will defend capitalism. She can defend removing God. I will defend embracing a biblical worldview. She can defend child sacrifice. I will defend the sanctity of life. Any of the radical, insane democratic policies and platform that they stand for, I will debate the opposite. I'm challenging AOC to adhere.
Well, I thought you were going to challenge her to like a freestyle, 100 freestyle or something. I'm like, that's
that too.
That's an unfair fight. Or
a fair fight to her is putting a man in the pool.
Yeah, no, you can wear you could wear like 100-pound weight and challenge her to it. That would be fair, actually. Mark and Riley, both of you, thank you.
It's writing bits for Fight Circus now.
Yeah, that would be. That'd be a huge pay-per-view, those two in the pool. But also, sadly, it would turn out most guys just beat off before they got to the finish line.
It's going to be a different kind of pool.
Yeah, it'd be like, who won? I don't know. I came about the 50-meter mark. And
Post-nut clarity's setting in. I'm getting a hot dog.
I want to take a nap during my refractory period. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, AOC is nuts. But also AOC, then people need to think about this. She is the spokeswoman for the New World Order of crazy chicks with no facts and an inability to think, who do not focus on facts or numbers or data, who are all feelings-based, coming to the fore and just shouting and crying and creating, and then dumb people voting for them because of how emotionally invested they are.
TikTokified.
With things. Yeah, so it's sad, and we're going to get into trouble if these people are in charge. But they shall be. But then we will get into trouble, then we'll figure it out. Yeah, Betty Yee. I think Dawson got her name right. Yeah, she was on Pierce Morgan. I mean, she made a fool of her. They make fools of themselves because they don't have the data and they don't have the facts. They just have feelings. And so feelings are great when you're 9 and you're trying to get your way because it kind of works. But later on, it doesn't really work because you're arguing with people that have follow-up questions and data and don't really care about your feelings. And then you end up looking foolish. But there's something where they don't mind themselves looking foolish, which is new.
Yeah, I think that's a byproduct of the internet era.
It is.
You have to, the person with less shame, they win the game.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, what else we got?
Yeah, next up, a bummer. The Dodgers lost the World Series game last night. Man, but Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were booed during it.
That's got to be funny.
That's a small win, I guess, for humanity.
So they were at the game.
Yeah.
All the celebs go to the game.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, I had a weird thing the day before when they went 18. I think they went, did they go 18 innings? They went 18 innings.
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
How many times, Dawson, you can look it up, did Ohtani get on base in that game? Because they may never.
Chuck's saying 9 right off the top.
9. Yeah, I thought it was 8 or 9. Who else in history is going to get on base 9 times in a World Series game? Well, and once you narrow it down to World Series, the answer is never.
Yeah.
Because how you'd have to go. Well, it'd be real tough.
That'd be a statistic that we heard. 9, ridiculous. Are you looking it up? That's pretty amazing.
Well, it's 9. All right. I had a weird moment where I was getting on my rowing machine. And I tend to watch TMZ when I get on my rowing machine. But the Dodger game was on, and it was like in the 8th inning. And I got on my rowing machine, and I thought, man, I hope there's enough game left so I can do my row and still watch the game without going into...
And you rode your ass to Indochina.
I rode all the way to Thailand. No, I quit after a half an hour. But I was like... I remember sitting on the rowing machine going, well, how long? See, we got the top of the, we got the bottom, we got the top of the 8th. Okay, top of the 8th, then the bottom of the 8th. Yeah. Then if the Dodgers score, well, they won't get up. And I was trying to figure out.
Remember the new 2-minute rule, you know what I mean? The box. Yeah.
So It was literally, that was at like 8:15. At 11:15, I was still watching the game, just sitting in my bathrobe, and I was like, my God, this thing is not ended. So I don't think anyone's getting up 9 times in a World Series game. On base, I should say, 9 times. Well, they're not going to get up, but on base, 9 times in a World Series, one game.
He's a rare talent, Ohtani.
These guys go the whole... I mean, there are plenty of people that go a series and don't get on base 9 times, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously he got walked, intentionally walked. And let me say about the intentional walk. They now just tell you you're walked. They don't walk them. They used to have to walk them. 4 balls.
I remember the whole catcher takes
do
his
it.
mask off and stands and plays with his papa.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like all the padding and the gloves and the sliding mittens and the on-base mittens and the protectors and everything.
It's a lot.
So he goes up there full armadillo. Then they go, we're walking you. And he goes, oh, okay. And he starts unstrapping all his stuff and just leaves a pile of equipment on home plate.
Yeah.
And the bat boy has to go get it.
Little strip tease.
Here's
to get
the thing.
First.
Don't put it on if you're going to be walked. Everyone knows you're going to be walked. Don't put the fucking pads on. Just go up there.
Or think about it this way: get a samurai team. You know what I mean, to take off all that armor real quick and get back to the dugout. That boy, he could be repurposed.
You know my policy: no pads, or whatever pads you put on, you are wearing it the entire time you're on the bases.
That's why I've been wearing my cup to every show.
Ties a record for most on-base record. Single game, previously held by Stan Hack in 1942. In a World Series game? Because I kept saying...
No, that's just a regular game.
I know. I said World Series 5 times because I said it'll never happen in a World Series game. But it'll never happen in a World Series game, but it did happen. That regular season, yeah, baseball's 120 years old, sure. They go to extra innings. That I figured, but not in a World Series game.
Yeah.
Stan Hack. And also, everybody had nicknames back then, Stan Whitey Hack or Stan Lefty Hack, but this is just Stan Hack. Okay. 83 years. It's happened twice in in terms of regular season, but it's never going to happen again. So
Take that, Hack.
Take that, Hack. All right, what else you got?
Hey, CNN.
Wait,
anchor.
they booed. Is there audio?
Yeah, I know. I was wondering if you guys were going to hit me with that. Maybe them getting booed. I don't really understand why they booed him. Can you explain it to me? Because I get it. Meghan Markle's a princess, but they just rejected the princesshood. Prince Harry seems like a great guy because he was an Apache helicopter pilot. That's pretty bad.
Here's what we don't like. All right, sorry. We'll run it back. But they put him up on the Jumbotron, and here we go.
Oh, you can hear it. Yeah, maybe it's a whole No Kings protest.
Here's what
no princes either.
We hate complainers. And she does this thing where there's a couple things. She does this thing where she goes, when I met him, I didn't know he was a prince. I never knew anything. I just was attracted to the balding ginger
Navy
guy.
SEAL security guards he got rolling around with them everywhere.
Right. So they don't like that. They also don't like when they just do these multi-million-dollar deals like Netflix and Spotify go, we'll give you $50 million, and they haven't earned their way there. What the fuck do they... By the way, what does Prince Harry or Obama know about making fucking documentary films? What the fuck does Michelle Obama know about documentary films? The answer is nothing. Nothing. But she gets multi-million-dollar advances, and people don't like that. Because no kings, remember?
Solid point.
Right.
Solid point.
And then and this is why we're learning to hate Michelle Obama, they start complaining about not being seen or racism or the pressure or what it's like when people are fucking struggling and you're living next to Oprah in a fucking vineyard and you won't stop fucking complaining about your life. Fuck right off.
I have a question. I don't know if we know. Did they have a last name Because he apparently, we're not supposed to call him Prince anymore because he left.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't he be like Harry Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Or something? They're still going to call him Prince Harry, but I'm curious. These people have last names, right?
He should adapt Prince's symbol.
Nice.
As the Prince, who doesn't want to be Prince.
Well, I was going Harry Markle.
Yeah, Harry Markle. Anyway, the whole point is rich people, privileged people complaining. And guys, I don't know, you guys tell me. I think guys kind of get that, like, hey man, you live in a big fucking house, you're super rich, you fucking shut up.
Yeah.
Women will always complain. They'll go, the fuck, I want to go to get my hair done and the chick fucked my hair up, or I went to go get my car detailed and the guy fucked up my Rolls Royce. Like, they can't, it's in them.
It's inherent.
So they put a camera on them and then the chick starts complaining from Oprah's house and then everyone turns on her. It's really her that we don't like. I don't think it's him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
It's her. And then he being pee-whipped, I think is the other part. Also, there's a thing, the other thing, she's really covered a lot of bases. Doing the as a black woman thing when you pass is an Italian woman. Like you have olive-colored skin and you have straight long hair. Like nobody sees her as a black woman. And
she looks like J-Lo.
Right, and she does the as a black woman, and then she probably looks more Anglo than J-Lo does. But you're trying to play the race card and the woman card and the woe is me card when you're fucking rich and nobody feels sorry for you, and that's where we turn.
I forgot it was that lady. Now I remember.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Prince Harry does have a last name. It's David, so his name is Harry David.
Oh, Larry. Harry and Larry David. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I got to shave my Harry Davids.
Mm-hmm.
Don Lemon's in the news being blasted as Two-Face. As he said, conservative commentator Megyn Kelly looks trans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She fooled me. All right.
Me too,
Let's
bud.
listen to what he has to say.
Is Megyn Kelly chopped?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what is chopped. I've heard it, but I don't know what that means. What does chopped mean?
She's gonna get mad at me, dude. I don't know if I want this heat.
What does chopped mean?
Chopped means like not hot.
Yeah, she's chopped. I don't know, the whole MAGA look.
It's all the MAGA
it's
ladies.
Too
They
much.
look kind of looks like a Barbie doll covered in like WD-40.
I think she looks trans.
So chopped means not hot or formerly hot? We got to look up chopped.
It's like the kids, they're like, oh, that's chopped. Like, it's like ugly. He doesn't look right.
Can you be 19 and chopped?
I mean, it's possible.
You know.
Listen, I was
I'm not asking about
I was a
that.
pretty meathead, yeah.
No, what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
They mean formerly hot, not
This
anymore?
According to the Urban Dictionary, chopped is the fuggliest, nastiest, most disgusting of them all.
I will say this. Here's what I will say.
Boy, she chopped translates to that girl ugly ass.
Okay,
Wow.
let's see if we can break this
You
down.
need an Urban Dictionary for the Urban Dictionary.
I'll give you two examples of this. She was in a movie where she was being portrayed by like Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
And Charlize Theron is didn't
as
look
hot.
any better
Not as
than
hot.
her.
Yeah,
like in movies, like if you take a look at how movies work.
Yeah.
Like you do Made in America with Tom Cruise. The actual guy who was the pilot who ran the drugs was a fat, bald dude from Louisiana. And then Tom Cruise comes in. Like that. Very rarely is the star the person who portrays you in a movie not an upgrade from you in real life.
Yeah.
That is very rare. I would argue, I don't know, I'm going to see Megyn pretty soon. I don't know if Megyn is 53 or 55. I don't know what she is. I don't know who has put together more hot years. Like, she was piping at 17, right? Now she's 53. I don't know. You look it up. I'm not asking for body language, Andrew. Use your computer. Look on your phone. It'll tell you. But the point is She's had pretty much a 40-year uninterrupted streak of hotness.
Yeah, no.
And by the way, I don't know when the end is coming, but not soon. She's 54. All right, I'm going to go with a 40-year hotness streak and not going anywhere. Still hot.
Now, well, I think that Don Lemon, from his cloud in the sky as a black man with Black Don't Crack, you know what I mean? He's saying that since she got some plastic surgery, or maybe allegedly, or maybe didn't, that, yeah, because trans do the same thing, get plastic surgery, that's what he's pitching at.
I don't, I've been to Thailand, and I've seen it all. And I am telling you that you don't get much better looking than Megan.
Lady boys?
Than Megyn Kelly. Oh. And the trans thing is comical, but it seems a little petty. But also, the host of the show saying ugly is a weird way to go. It's a weird angle. Listen, maybe this is congratulatory. But if you want to attack me, don't go unfunny. Never funny. Fuck guys, fucking not funny. I'm funny. I'm funnier than almost everybody, and including people you think are funny. That's not the angle. Pick other angles with me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's fine. You can find other angles. I'm open to other angles, but don't work the not funny. That's not a good angle because I've made millions of dollars from 30 years being funny. So that's not an angle. And don't pick Megyn Kelly ugly angle. Bad angle. Pick unfunny.
Yeah, but this is a clip farm kid. You know what I'm saying? This kid with his poofy hair is trying to get this a reaction.
All right, so he thinks she's chopped, which is ugly, and then Don Lemon thinks maybe trans. Okay. Don Lemon's also a dope, which is weird. He doesn't, and by the way, he has no dope self-awareness either, like we were talking about. Like Whoopi Goldberg has no dope self-awareness. Many of these women don't have a dope self-awareness, like AOC. Like, you sound like a fucking dope when you talk. Don Lemon sounds like a dope, but he's not bothered by it, which again is a gift.
Yeah, it's what they refer to as a silly twink.
So let's,
aka himbo.
Let's listen to it one more time. Let's see. Himbo. I like that.
Is Megyn Kelly chopped?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what is chopped. I've heard it, but I don't know what that means. What does chopped mean?
She's gonna get mad at me, dude. I don't know if I want this heat.
What does chopped mean?
Chopped means like not hot.
Yeah, she's chopped. I don't know, the whole MAGA look.
It's all the
also, let's pause for a second.
Kind of looks like.
Who are we comparing Megyn Kelly to? The populace at large?
Yeah.
Like who are we comparing her to? My mom, your girlfriend, my old girlfriend? Like who are we comparing Megyn Kelly to? Because she's in rarefied hot air. She's a hot air balloon, and she's in rarefied stratosphere of hot. Like, you can go, oh, she's not hot, but who are we comparing her to? I'll tell you what. Let's just go to the supermarket. I'll tell you what. I will take these two pussies and go to the closest supermarket. I'll give you 2 hours to push around a cart. You need to produce a woman who's hotter than Megyn Kelly. If you can't, then shut the fuck up. Or go suck off Don Lemon somewhere.
Well, I'm going to Sydney Sweetie's Erewhon.
That's true, but she probably has her fat assistant doing the shopping.
Damn it. Foiled again.
All right, let's bring it home, Mayhem. Boston, Mass. at the Wilbur. That'll be the 6th, coming up on Thursday. That's a good show. That's a good theater. Fun times there. Historic. Then Buffalo, New York, Electric City. Then I'll be with who? Megyn Kelly in Duluth, Georgia. Gas South Arena with Megyn. You go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Becky Robinson, you can check out her website, BeckyRobinsonTheGreat.com. Mayhem, what do you got?
Yeah, MayhemNow.com, and buy a t-shirt. And guess what, man? We got all kinds of stuff on Mayhem Miller Instagram.
So, till next time, Eastman for Mayhem and Becky Robinson saying mahalo. All right, you got some news.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, you want to do news right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so getting to that Cheryl Hines story. Cheryl Hines clashes with The View over husband RFK Jr.'s record for serving Americans. The health secretary's wife pushes back on claims that he is the least qualified HHS head in history. As Sonny Hostin went on about the problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services that we have ever had in history. He has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and I think it is very dangerous. I say that with the utmost respect. We got a clip.
People spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion.
Oh, clap it up. Clap it up.
It's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views here.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision.
All right.
May I finish?
I'll pause it there for a second. First off, they hate COVID talk.
Yeah.
They fucking hate COVID talk because it's 5 minutes old and they're all fucking
all wrong.
liars.
Yeah.
Or stupid or liar. She brings up COVID and you go into circumcision. Also, they go, all the misinformation, like it's that thing. It's like, listen, what happened to Charlie Kirk was wrong. I disagree with everything that came out of his mouth, but it was still wrong. It's like, what do you disagree with? You disagree with everything that came out of his mouth. Everything, yeah. Everything. So when he said, take care of your family and raise your kids, or with a disagreement with that, you didn't disagree with, they do it all the time. I just disagree. How much look, we just had a pandemic. Ladies of The View, so it's easy to keep score. Let's just take the shit he said about COVID versus the stuff you guys said about COVID, and we'll get a batting average. Okay, so no one is batting 1,000, but let's see who has a higher batting average. And I will put my net worth on him. So what are you talking about? All the misinformation. Yeah. I love it. They go, all the stuff. Yeah. No one's going to be perfect in their batting average. His is much higher than yours. Okay, but let her finish. Sorry.
Hey, I finish.
Please.
When people were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We were also still learning about it. It was a novel virus
and
we've never
everybody's
encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that it
And Dr.
can't.
Fauci has a
at
medical
the time, they were
degree.
censoring
All right,
Bobby
pause it there.
because-
Dr. Fauci has a medical degree. That's right. That's why he was able to do gain of function in a Wuhan lab. Chris Carolla does not have a medical degree, so she wouldn't be able to do gain of function research in a Wuhan lab behind people's backs. And she wouldn't need to be pardoned for that reason either. So, first, I love the medical degree. Yes, everyone who was either wrong about COVID or lied about COVID had a medical degree that you guys threw in our face. There's also many people with medical degrees that were correct that you shunned and said need to be deplatformed. Yeah. So I'm not sure how this medical degree part works, ladies of The View, but as soon as you bring up COVID, they go, we didn't know. You never said you didn't know. You said you knew.
Yeah.
So it's stupid or liar. In his case, Fauci was lying. But I love the backtrack of we're fucking retarded and we don't know anything. And by the way, then why should we listen to you when you make decrees? Okay, because your argument is, why are you listening to me? So it'd be like you and I are driving to the club and I go, Rudy, I got this. I've been in this club 1,000,000 times. Go right up here on Hoover Street and then take that straight away to Adams Avenue and then we'll go down to Martin Luther King and then at some point we're out of town.
Yeah, well, Adam, I know you have your way, but listen, I saw a shortcut through that ditch.
Yeah, okay. We're in the middle of the barrio. We're not near the club. And then you go, what the fuck? And I go, well, why are you listening to me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have a degree. I don't have a driver's license.
I'm not
What are you talking about?
Magellan.
Yeah.
Yes, because I spoke with authority for a long time and I told you where to go the whole time. And at the end, when you say you didn't know where you were going, my excuse is, why are you listening to me? Because I don't know anything.
I was still learning the way.
Right.
During that time, we were still learning the way.
But you're trying to get people deplatformed, fired from their jobs, thrown out of the fire department, lose their pension, locked out of their jobs. Yeah. But you didn't know anything. Okay, so you shut the beaches and you shut outdoor dining, but you didn't know. And okay, what else don't you know for the next crisis that comes up? Okay, and then are you basically saying then we shouldn't listen to you because you don't know shit and you talk with authority? And by the way, you didn't end anything with a question mark. It was exclamation point. Everything was I know. Remember, Fauci was science. You didn't believe in him. You missed out on the science part. So the I know crowd now backpedals. And again, their excuses were imbeciles and we're incompetent and we didn't know anything. That's the best we got.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bitches. We're not listening to you then.
Yeah.
There's more. I think you can go back like 10 seconds. I do love when you bring up COVID and misinformation. Foreskin.
Encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that.
And Dr. Fauci has a medical
At the time, they were
degree.
censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any. But people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
We'll spread a lot.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the other stuff that they talked about in this that I love Cheryl for, because it feels like Cheryl's her winds are starting to change a little bit as time is going on, and maybe she's sort of seeing that her political party is full of shit.
I think so. Also, she needed to navigate Hollywood for a long time.
Sure.
Now, okay, so here's Larry David's a fucking nut job. He's a political lefty, insane person. Like he may be, let's see, he would be left of Mark Ruffalo. Or maybe tied in the political nut job insanity, global climate change, just fuck stick retard, super hard left. So
he's great in task.
Your boss is a super hard left dude, super hard. And you don't know when you're coming back for the last season. So what are you going to do? Put on a MAGA hat and stroll down the boardwalk at Venice Beach? I don't think so. Hollywood people are pussies and they know where the fucking bread's coming from, and they just shut up and suck a dick because they're cowards. So she wasn't going to upset the apple cart over there at HBO, especially with Larry David.
Yeah.
So she had to just shut up. Now she's in charge.
Yeah.
Her man's in the catbird seat. It used to be shut up and don't piss off Larry David because he's a fucking lunatic and a leftist. Now it's the season's wrapped. That's it. No more Curb Your Enthusiasm. Oh, and my guy is Trump's guy and Trump's president. So now she's like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Why doesn't it work the other way, though? Like, how come guys like us can look at Larry David and go, absolute comedic genius, we can sit and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Somebody who's on the left can't watch something that you put out, or like a Tyler Fisher, or something that the Daily Wire puts out. They did that movie a few years ago. What was it called? Something with the balls, something? Yeah. But why is it
that the all-male team, transgender, said they were going to go play basketball against the girls.
So why is it that we have no problem going the other way and watching people who
why are we so much better than everyone else? Tell you why.
Basically what I'm saying.
I want you to cut me off at minute 22. They do this thing all the time, and I believe that they hurt their argument. Because when people dig into me, they go, he said this, he said that, he did this, did that, and they'll go, the unfunny Adam Carolla, blah, blah, blah. Now, there is no way of units to measure funny, but I'm funnier than all these people. You can't say that I'm not funny because that's what I've been doing for 30 years and I haven't missed a day. So so you can't, like, you can go, you can say, I can go, fuck LeBron James, he's a race hustler. And that guy sucks at basketball. Because now I seem like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he clearly doesn't suck at basketball, and I clearly don't suck at comedy. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it for as long as I have done it.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, pre-politics, I was considered funny by the same people. So
Sure.
did you you decided I wasn't funny at some point?
Mm-hmm.
So they have to work an emotional component into everything, which is the unfunny, not going to watch that, versus a separation. Because I would say about Jon Stewart, let's say, I would go, well, I disagree with a lot of his political stances, but he's a good dude. He pays taxes. He loves his country, and he's good to his kids. All right. Now, the other side is I disagree with the political stances, and he's Hitler. Mm-hmm. Right. And the one that's always weird is they'll go, his policy, the Ron DeSantis' policy of cruelty. That's what he is. He's an evil dog catcher from a Disney movie from the 60s,
Puts
right?
cats in bags.
Right. He's cruel. He hates kids and he's cruel. Yeah, that's Ron DeSantis. He's cruel, you fucking idiots. Just say you disagree. And also, you hurt your argument when you start piling on. Mm-hmm. It's that sort of when you're a kid, you go, some point the guy beats you verbally and you'd go, oh, fine, but I'm not. You're fat.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you've been defeated. Because you're arguing over something, and now you just had to yell out that the guy was fat. So they can't do it because the argument isn't enough. They lose the argument. They're not going to win the argument, so they have to add on the extra spiritual, moral things of being cruel or evil or racist or bigoted, homophobic, xenophobic. They have to tack on all the window dressing because the argument just based on the merits of the argument or the policy that's not going to work because the numbers don't pencil out in that department. So then they have to go to this sort of cruelty department, so you go, I don't think we should raise the minimum wage. Because you raise it to $20 an hour, as they did here in California, and there's a lot of people out of work, and a lot of businesses going under, and a lot of kiosks now, and automation, and robotation, and all the stuff that we're going to get rid of. We're going to put these people out of work. And then you can't argue the numbers. You're not going to be able to argue the numbers. It's going to raise the price of the food. Businesses are going to go out. They're going to start cutting back on staff, and everyone's going to be part-time. No one full-time. All right. So you can't make that argument. So you say, I believe mothers should get a living wage, and you're cruel for wanting to deny them and their children food because you can't make an argument that works with the numbers. Yeah. So you start working the emotional side of it, and you'll see it when you argue with your kids. What's a kid say? What's a kid say who doesn't make the team? Who's 9, who comes home from school? Coach hates me. Coach hates me. That's an emotional argument. Not you fucking suck at baseball. It's coach hates me. Not if I worked harder and learned to hit a curve or whatever it is. It's coach hates me, right? That's an emotional argument. You just got an F in your history class. What? The teacher has it out for me. These are emotional arguments because you can't compete.
Yeah.
You're not writing the book reports. You're not doing the homework. You're not doing the work. So everything boils down to this person's cruel. This person doesn't want families to eat this one. You're making an emotional argument because your numbers aren't working in the stats department of the argument.
Yeah, the best Charlie Kirk videos are the ones where he talks people back into a corner and then they go, "You got a big head," right. And then they turn around and run away. I've showed so many people those videos and go because they would disagree with everything he would say for no reason. It was just like, I hate this guy. And I go, well, do you love your family? Do you want peace? Do you want a nice community? Yeah, well, that's what this guy wants. You disagree on 20% of what he says.
I know. All right, we have a video of Larry David finding out on that show. This is my favorite show. We just bring progressive rich white dudes and tell them their family's own slaves.
This isn't AI, is it?
It's just such an odd combination on my father's side of the Germany and the South. Yeah. Two places that we have fought against as a country. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. I hope no slaves show up on this
Please turn the page. Now, Larry, this is another part of the 18th.
Oh, you did it! You did it! I knew it! Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Boy.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, boy. Name of the slave owner, Henry Bernstein. My great-grandfather was a slave owner.
Earnestly bigots, just asking.
One female, age 17, mulatto. Oh, Professor, I'm so sorry. You can see why my father didn't want to tell me anything about his family.
All right. So there you go. Mr. Pius.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just do this? And I mean it. With what's Larry David's net worth? Okay. Can we do something like this? And they talk about reparations all the time. We argue about reparations. And then some people go, my family wasn't even in this country, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so my kid's mom's family is all born in Italy. My dad's parents are born in Italy, and nobody's known anything here but poverty. There's no slave owners with the Carollas.
Yeah.
We're too new to this country. Like, my kids have no slave owner reparation, anything. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Well, you had slaves, except for your mom bought them used at a garage sale.
Yes, we'd go slave dumpster diving on Friday nights. She covered one with a sheet, which is in poor taste. That's what she do with her sofa. All right, Larry David's net worth is $400 million. He's 77 years old, so he's not going to be able to spend that money with the time he's got left on this planet. So he and his party, and he's very progressive, are for reparations.
Sure.
And he has a history of slave ownership in his family. And so does Ben Affleck, whose net worth is $600 million. And so does, who else did we talk about? We talked about Andrew. Ben Affleck has this. Who was the other guy who was revealed? Oh, Sonny Hostin. All right. From the
wow. No kidding.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are all bleeding heart liberals, and you're for reparations, and your family has slave ownership, and you're all multimillionaires. I don't have your money, and my family has no history with this, and I'm against reparations. So I'm 0 for 3. You guys are 3 for 3. Why not cough up some cash? Why not just get that side of the aisle who is for reparations? And here's all it'll be easy. If you're for reparations and there's a history of slave ownership and your net worth is more than $30 million, then you cut a check. That'll be a substantial amount of money. I mean, look, Larry David's net worth could go from 400 million to 375. It's not going to put a dent in his bank account. Sure. And there's Sonny Hostin can cut a check. Ben Affleck can cut a check. They can all cut a check, and then they could get what they want, which is reparations. Hold on. Do you want reparations? Yes. Okay. Good news.
Yeah.
Great news. Great news. Your family owns slaves and you're rich. So you cut a check. What about Carolla? Carolla's family didn't own slaves. He doesn't have your net worth, and he's not for reparations. So cut a check, Mr. Reparation guy, who never will cut a check, by the way. But it's pretty easy. Why isn't Jasmine Crockett pitch this? Like, why isn't somebody like, let's just look, let's see if you own slaves, see what your net worth is, and let's do it.
Yeah, aren't we paying for our white privilege, though? Isn't that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Every time I travel.
I know. Man, I got pulled over on my way to a gig the other night, and the police officer let me go with a warning. And when I called somebody, I was on the phone telling them about it, and they go, well, there's that white privilege kicking in. I was like, no, that's the respectful hands up on the steering wheel where they can see them. Sir, do you mind if I reach into my glove box and grab my registration? Sir, I'm going to reach around and grab my wallet. All the whole time being incredibly respectful. And at the end of it, and it was a Latino cop. Guy walks up and goes, hey, man, just keep it slow in these small towns. I said, no problem, officer. Have a great night. And that's how you get out. It's not because he walked in and was like, oh, Whitey, keep moving, bud.
Well, by the way, the majority of cops in L.A. are, black or brown or women or something.
Yeah.
It's not that good old. It's not like Murph, the redhead from Union 76, comes out. You don't know who Murph is. Murph. If you find me a commercial from Murph of Union 76, that's the whitest dude
He had a
ever.
hound dog too, right?
Oh.
Murph?
Didn't he?
I don't know if Murph had a hound dog. He was the friendly guy.
Yeah.
By the way, they would run these commercials in L.A., and that's what I thought going to the gas station was going to be like. When I got older and got a license, got a car, I didn't know it'd be the steely-eyed Middle Eastern guy going, no, it can't, no. Pump 3, no pump for you, no pump, no. I didn't know it was that behind the bulletproof glass.
Sure.
I thought Murph was going to
come out.
He's going to come out and go, can I check your oil?
Always have a rag wiping oil off his hand. Yeah.
Murph was the whitest dude who was the most helpful guy. The noise would go off, bing, bing, the bell when you'd go over the air hose. That would alert Murph. Murph would come out, check that tire pressure, check that oil
Check that
level.
oil. Yeah. Pop that hood. Your PSI's a little low on that front left, Mr. Higgins. Don't worry about it, though. Old Gus has got you.
Gus has got you. Murph Union 76 commercial. That's this one. That's the whitest guy ever. Murph's 76 station.
Is that a Volkswagen Bug?
Yep.
My engine's missing and my wife won't talk to me. For newlywed, you're off to a pretty rough start.
He said he had the car tuned up.
Well, I did. You did?
Then why are we here instead of that honeymoon lodge?
Somebody probably pulled the spark plug wire. It's an old wedding drink. Turn it off. Okay, start her up. Murph, you saved my marriage. Well, getting people off to a smooth start is what the spirit of 76 is all about.
Go with the spirit.
That's funny, dude. I had an old Volkswagen
Bug,
and there was a 76 at the corner of my house, down the street, and I would take it there to this old white guy who would fix it. And every single time he'd fix it, he'd look at me and hand me a bill and say something like, $30. Never get rid of this car.
Yeah, you can fix it. Well, you can almost fix yourself. By the way, is sabotaging someone's engine an old wedding trick?
Yeah,
I feel
right,
like that's a cruel joke. They're by the side of the road. It's at night. They're both buzzed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get hit by semi-truck.
Yeah.
Guys hopped up on trucker speed and they get cleaned out. Like it's kind of, tying cans to the back of the car, so be it.
Great, yeah.
But fucking with the distributor cap and pulling a spark plug wire and making it miss, that's a little cruel.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, I banged your wife in the broom closet on your wedding night. You know, those old wedding gags.
Yeah, it's an old wedding gag. Yeah. So Murph just went down there and fixed it. But Murph is that's who I thought I was going to be dealing with in Los Angeles, not scary foreign guy. What is? No! Just screaming at me through the bulletproof glass.
They pull spark plug wire. Old wedding trick.
All right, you got one more?
Yeah, let's do Letitia James, New York's top law enforcer, is housing a cop-hating fugitive relative with a lengthy felony rap sheet who was twice arrested for assaulting police officers at one of her Virginia homes, according to court documents.
Her great her great granddaughter niece. So what is she?
Grandniece.
Her grandniece.
Yes.
Has a crazy rap, like felon record.
Oh, it's insane.
A rap sheet.
Yeah.
But it includes getting pulled over 4 times in the same day.
Oh,
like it's literally, it's like, I just saw this. I was like, it's so easy to avoid cops. It's so easy it's easy not to interact with cops. It's easy. You just don't do shit that attracts them. Mm-hmm. Wait, do we have the clip? Or was it good? I heard it all. Well, you can lay it out. I don't know
there was I didn't see a clip, but talking about her grandniece, Nikia Thompson, 36, wanted for failing to complete the terms of her parole following a 2011 arrest in Winston-Salem. In that case, she was charged with malicious conduct by a prisoner, a felony, along with assault of a government official and resisting a public officer. But then, keep going, this was 2020. since she's been living in Virginia in the house that Letitia James owns. She's been charged of possession of burglary tools, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and grand larceny, including the summer before. In July, Thompson was hit with 4 citations in a single day, including driving 80 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone and stopping her vehicle improperly on a highway. It was just the year before that she was ticketed once again for doing 80 in a 55 and got a summons for improper child restraint.
Yeah. So Earnestly Bigot wants to know if she got her together with the guy's been tased a million times. I think you'd find at some point their kids are going to be impervious to pepper spray and tasing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I will put this in perspective, and then we'll talk to Senator John Kennedy. The thing about the lawfare and the turnabout, is it fair play? And then he's using the legal system to go after, and so on and so forth. I will just paint a picture for everyone, because Letitia James ran on doing that to him.
Sure.
That she ran on saying, I'll find something and take Trump down. Okay, which is an insane thing to say into a microphone. Okay, so turnabout is fair play, and this isn't anything, and this is nothing burger. Yeah, technically she did it, but so does half of America, and whatever. Okay, I'll tell you what this is. This is basically, you're the Oakland Raiders, and you just got screwed by the tuck rule. And it's bullshit, and you don't know what it is, and you don't even know why, but you just lost the game because of Tom Brady and some rule that we didn't even know about, but they're going to the Super Bowl and you're going home because of the tuck rule. And now it's a new game and you got the ball and the Patriots are rushing your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and call the tuck rule. Well, we're going to take that tuck rule.
Sure.
You can win the game now. And it's like, well, that tuck rule's bullshit. It is. But it worked for you guys, and you won the game. So now we're just going to implement the same rule. And you can go, it's a BS rule. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it worked for you guys.
Yeah.
So now we're just claiming it again.
Well, in the same breath, talking about Gavin Newsom as he was trolling Trump once again this weekend, they put out a graphic on, it was Press Office posted a photo on X of President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu clutching hands and comparing them to Dumb and Dumber. So you're right. They always say, hey man, we want more decorum in our politics. And now they're figuring out that doesn't work for you. So you have to troll. You have to go be that guy who's a little offensive, and you have to, start a couple of fires. And now Gavin Newsom finally figured it out. So he's got people in his press office posting stuff like this.
I get it, but does Dumb and Dumber work when you end a war and get hostages back?
Even Andrew pointed out, so you're comparing them to two lovable people? Like,
yeah.
What?